This, Madam Secretary, your lead in the polls, arguably might be a lot bigger if you didn't have these honest and trustworthy issues with voters. And we've talked about this before, but yesterday's State Department IG report was pretty scathing. And it seemed to contradict many of the things you said about the emails. Do you accept everything that the State Department IG report said about your practices as fact?
Well, Chuck, the report made clear that personal email use was the practice under other secretaries of state, and the rules were not clarified until after I had left. But I've said this many times, it was still a mistake. If I could go back, I'd do it differently. And I understand people have concerns about this, but I hope and expect voters to look at the full picture of everything I've done and stand for, and the full threat posed by Donald Trump. And if they do, I have faith in the American people that they will make the right choice.
I got to ask you, though, about a specific email that was unearthed in this IG report, because it seems to contradict your reasoning for why you wanted a private email and a private server. You are quoted in an email as saying this: "I don't want any risk of the personal being accessible," meaning when you were urged to get a state.gov email, you were open to it, but you were concerned. What were you concerned about? FOIA requests? Congressional requests? Can you explain what that sentence meant?
Oh, of course not. I mean, this arose because I worried that some individuals that I was emailing to on their state.gov accounts were not getting my emails, and I was concerned about how to fix that. I raised lots of different possibilities, but ultimately the technical problem was resolved, and I continued using my personal account for both work and personal emails. Because I did think it was convenient. However, I think it's pretty clear, looking back, what I thought was convenient turned out to be anything but. And as I have acknowledged, I should have just used 2 accounts. It was a mistake.
But what was the accessible? What were you worried about with the personal being accessible? Accessible by who?
Well, nobody wants their personal emails made public. You know, that is, I think, a very common, if not unanimous feeling among people. I was told this was a technical problem. It was resolved. And I have, like everybody else I know, I separated out my official email. I send it to .gov accounts, and as I have said many times since, you know, it was a mistake. I should have had 2 separate accounts, so none of these questions would have been raised. But you know, the fact is, people have official accounts, they have personal accounts, and when it comes to personal, people don't want their personal email accounts made public.